Okay guys, induction has begun. I went to my regular appointment and my blood pressure was 168 over 90, super high. And then it came down to 140 something, but like I told you guys in the last video, which is my live, if it was high, they'd send me over for induction. So here we are. Just checked in, just got into a room and waiting to get the induction started, but they said I can eat, so yay. Okay, so it is 9:25 p.m. Things have gotten started. They were going to give me a Cytotec pill, and put in I think it's called a Foley bulb or balloon. And they attempted to do that around 8:15. They put the balloon in and it immediately fell out, which meant that they managed to have me dilate to 3 centimeters while putting it in. I don't know if I'm guessing the Cytotec didn't go in. I'll have to ask the nurse. So that's a good thing because things are rolling. And then around 9 o'clock, they started some Pitocin. Don't feel much going on, a little bit of cramping here and there. Baby Joy Chaser was feeling a little sad at my brother's house, so I called him, or I had them call me. I have this portal thing here that I got for Christmas. It came in really handy. So I was able to talk to them through the Facebook Messenger, and they could actually read a story. So we read a story, Pete the Cat, and it had me be all the characters. And he liked that, so he seemed to have cheered up quite a bit. So, and then he walked away from the phone and said bye. So I think he's good to go, and I will probably catch up with them sometime in the morning. And so we wait. I already said it's 9:25. My blood pressure is still high, but nothing alarming, it seems. So that's all for now. Okay guys, it is almost 2 a.m. and I asked to be checked and no real progress. I'm having contractions. They're not quite regular, but they're uncomfortable, but mostly my back is just hurting in general. I can't get comfortable to get any sleep, so I did ask for an epidural. They said I can get it, so they said the anesthesiologist is on this floor, so hopefully they'll be in soon and I can get that. And then I'm hoping that I could just go to sleep and let my body do its thing while I'm sleeping. So slow progress. Okay, it is 3:10 in the morning. I got my epidural. That sucked. I felt like it took longer and hurt more than last time, but it's in. I'm all numb. I'm laying on my side. You guys can see it, this peanut ball between my knees to like open up the pelvis, and feeling a little bit nauseous. So fun stuff. Gonna try and get some sleep, but I know they're gonna be back in like 20 minutes to take my blood sugar, so we'll see how this goes in terms of getting rest. So it is now 6:30 a.m. and still not much progress. Still 3 to 4 centimeters dilated, but the doctor said my cervix is really, really stretchy now, which hopefully that's a good thing. Though I don't really know what it means. Still on Pitocin. I'm up to 20. It goes up to 30. So we'll see what happens this morning. They did say I could request a clear foods tray. And the only thing I want really from that is the diet jello, the sugar-free jello. So looking forward to that. I did get a few hours sleep, and I'll probably just keep trying to sleep and hope my body responds a little bit more. Be back. So it is 8:15 a.m. on Saturday. Been here for about maybe 16 hours. So one of the doctors from my practice just came on to take over my care. So she decided to pause everything because my Pitocin is up to 26. It goes up to 30. And I'm still not in, I guess, what they call active labor because I think my contractions are still random. So she decided to pause everything. They're going to let me eat. And then they're going to put in the Cytotec. Before they were going to put in the Cytotec and that balloon thing. But I told you guys when they put in the balloon thing, I immediately dilated to 3. And so they never put it in. So they never put in the Cytotec. So the nurse was, just before the doctor got here, was saying I probably could have benefited from the Cytotec anyway. Because with me having had a child, it wouldn't be uncommon for me to dilate kind of quickly with that ball, but my cervix still not really be, ripe enough. So that's the plan. So about to pause everything, and I'm happy I get to eat something because the nurse didn't think I would be able to eat because of being on the epidural, but my doctor said I can, so that's good news. I asked for bacon with a piece of toast and yogurt, so hopefully it'll be decent. Stay tuned. Okay, so my first tray of food has arrived. Is the liquids tray that they had said I could have before they knew they were going to pause everything. So let's see. So it's jello, tea, and I think that's chicken broth. I'm not going to eat the chicken broth, but I am going to eat this jello and have the tea. And then my other tray, they said, is still coming. So happy I get to eat something. I feel a teeny bit nauseous, but I think it's just because I'm hungry. Don't have much food in me. So in the last 24 hours, because it was a busy day yesterday. So I guess I didn't even tell you guys how the day started. So the day started with, I took baby Joy Chase to daycare. I knew it was a good chance that I was getting induced today. So my cousin, who's sleeping now, agreed to come with me to my appointment, and so I had all my bags and everything with me. But took baby Joy Chase to daycare. Then I went to my brother's house so I could go to my nephew's graduation. It was hot, a lot of walking. It was on a football field. But it was a nice day, beautiful day, very nice graduation. Then we went and got something to eat. But by the time we did all that and we went to Golden Corral, it was going to be almost time for me to have to leave to get back home so I could get to my doctor's appointment. So I only ate like one plate of food at Golden Corral, which is a buffet place, so people tend to go back. So I had that, and then that morning, all I had was like some apple slices and I think my protein drink. So I really hadn't had much before I got here. And then last night I ate, before they got everything started, they said I could eat. So I had some chicken, like buffalo wings, and a little bit of macaroni and cheese, and some vegetables. So not a whole lot of food to begin with. So anyway, here we are. So I'm going to eat this, and then the other food should come soon. And they've already stopped the Pitocin, so my body's getting a little bit of a break. I don't know if it's still contracting because I have the epidural. So I keep going from, I was cold, now I'm hot, which is why I took my bonnet off. So it's definitely kind of plays with your nervous system, I think, the epidural. And so the epidural numbs everything from like the boobs down. So right under my boobs is so itchy, like the line between where I'm numb and not numb is so itchy, which is interesting. So I don't remember that from before. Anyway, that's all for now. Bye. It is now 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Been here not maybe like 21 hours, not a full day yet. So I've basically been napping. They paused the Pitocin and they gave me Cytotec, but they gave it to me in my mouth because I am dilated past 3, but to help soften the cervix some more. And I think they're going to be checking me around 3:30 to see if that helps some, and then getting the Pitocin restarted. I'm still in epidural. So it's just a waiting game. They did give me something for the nausea, which helped. I think they gave me Zofran, which I remember my mom getting that when she had nausea from chemo. So that's that, and we wait. Nothing exciting to report. So it's 3:40 and just getting started with the Pitocin about maybe 5 minutes ago. So we'll see how I respond. Okay, it is 5 after 6 p.m. and I think I've officially been here at least 24 hours now. So they just left, they checked me, and I had made a little progress. They thought from the Cytotec pill that I put under, like in my cheek to dissolve, because I'd already dilated too much for them to put it vaginally. And they started the Pitocin back. So they thought I was to 5, but then I was having a contraction while she was examining me. And after the end of the contraction, at the top part of my cervix, near the baby's head, it was a little bit tighter there, so it was like actually just 4. So not as much progress as hoping for, but it was still progress. But they did break my water, and it was clear, which is a good thing. So hopefully that'll get things going a little more quickly now. So they broke my water at 5:55 p.m. So I asked for if I could have some Jello. So they're ordering me a clear liquids tray, and I'm hoping I can eat the Jello. I got nauseous earlier, and when I was allowed to eat food and couldn't really eat. So hoping I can eat the Jello this time. So sorry, I keep licking my lips. I think they're just dry from me not having much in me. Even though I'm on fluids, but works a little different, I guess. So anyway, that's it for now. Been getting updates on baby Joy Chaser. He's with my brother's family, and actually at a birthday party for my nephew's daughter. So it's that my grand niece. So he's having a good day, a fun time, and I talked to him earlier, video chatted, and then my niece took some video of him of a message for me, which was really really nice. So definitely gives a nice peace of mind that he's okay. Last night when we chatted, I could tell he was sad. So he's doing good today. So that's just all for now. Hopefully things pick up the pace a little bit, but we shall see. Bye. Okay, guys, it's 10:05 and just got checked. It's still like 4 centimeters. My epidural is wearing off, and they gave me like a new bolus, like a shot of medicine that's not working. So, talking about we're gonna have to replace it. So I'm kind of upset about that. I don't want to have to replace it, but these contractions do hurt, and I wanted to be able to at least sleep since I'm still got a ways to go. So I agreed to have them replace it. So feeling kind of bummed about that. Hopefully this next one, I mean, I don't remember what time it was when I got it, but it was last night, so hopefully this next one will work all the way through delivery. So that's where we are. Hey guys, so it's like 9:05 Sunday morning. Really rough night. My epidural, I could tell it had I thought it wore off. So they came and gave me more medicine. But then I was hurting more. So come to find out that the epidural had come out. That they were supposed to have been checking my back every 4 hours. And no one had checked it. And I had had the epidural almost 24 hours. So they had to redo it. So I was upset because having epidural placed is not fun. So they redid it. I was already upset. And then they do like this test where they put ice in a glove and they like touch your like arm or something that's not affected by the epidural. And they test, they touch your lower body to make sure it's working. When they redid it, apparently it worked too well because then I was numb all the way up to like past my boobs. And then I started having like a panic attack. Felt like I couldn't breathe. So I was terrified. I was crying. Uh, so they sat me up because the epidural kind of works by gravity. So they put it in, they have you lay flat. So they kind of can distribute evenly in your lower body. But mine went up too high. So that was rough. So, and I wanted it because I was feeling the contractions. They weren't that bad, but they were bad enough where I wasn't going to be able to sleep. And I wanted to sleep because I haven't been making much progress. So I wanted to try and rest as much as possible. So then I was scared to go to sleep because I felt like I wasn't breathing good. So finally it wore off. And then I had them turn it off, the line. So then I felt like okay, they could turn it back on. And they said the anesthesiologist was really nice. She was upset that no one had checked from it being placed. But she was nice and helpful, and everybody's been nice and stuff. So and I'm not upset with any particular nurse that it didn't get checked because none of them checked it. So they kind of all messed up in a way, but they've been pretty helpful. So they checked me overnight,
They said I was up to 5, so I felt pretty optimistic. Like, okay, finally something's happening. And I was finally able to get some sleep, so slept. Then this morning, new nurse came. She did some stretches with me for my hips and legs, and um, talked with me about everything that had happened. The doctor came in. My doctor went home. She was on until 7 a.m. So we had been hopeful that she would deliver the baby, but then she left. So this doctor I actually just met, which is annoying because that was the whole point of seeing different doctors throughout my pregnancy. Because I thought there would always be one of my doctors on call, but that's not the case. So a new doctor came in, and so she's going over everything that's happened. She checked me and felt I was more like a 4.5 or than a 5, but she, gave me credit as a 5. But basically, no progress at all overnight, which is upsetting. Considering I've already been pretty weepy since everything that happened last night. So then she's going over, I'm not making much, um, not making any progress. They still don't even consider me to be in active labor because I guess my contractions are still not regular enough. I'm on the max. Had already reached the max pitocin once, and then they dialed it back, and then they're trying. I'm going to reach the max pitocin again. Um, it's still just not really triggering labor. So then she was talking about C-section, so that has me pretty upset. But they said I don't have to decide right now, so I don't know if you guys they have this peanut ball between my legs, which I had that before. So hopefully now that I am a little further along, then maybe there'll be some progress. So, oh, and they did break my water. I'm not sure if I had told y'all that. So, a lot going on, but none of it good so far. The part that is good is the baby's been basically doing good the whole time. She only kind of showed signs of being, I'll say, upset once after they had drained my bladder with the catheter. But for the most part, she's been fine. It's just me, just my body not going into labor yet. So I don't know what I'm going to end up deciding. I really don't want a C-section, but I also don't want to risk of things going wrong to increase like the longer that I'm here and not actually in labor. So I don't know. Pretty upset right now. But I'll check back in with you guys later. Bye. Okay, guys, so she's here. I'm on the other side, postpartum. So I don't even remember where I left off earlier today. Um, I'm going to have to look back at my clips to make sure I don't leave anything out. But last night was scary and traumatic because my epidural went too high and I just felt like I couldn't breathe. I thought I was going to die. And then finally, it started to wear off somewhere. I wasn't numb so high and they could turn it on. And so slept only to wake up to find out I had made like no progress. I was still like at 5 centimeters and I was really upset. And then the doctor who was on call came in. And of course, it was none of my doctors, which totally defeated the purpose of
seeing different doctors during my appointments because none of them ended up working the day that I gave birth. So that I'm annoyed at. But she came to talk to me about basically how I hadn't made progress and what all had went on and risk factors from baby joy chaser having got stuck and a history of hemorrhaging. And she was presenting me with the option for C-section, and I was really upset about that. But she said, well, we'll give it 4 more hours, and you don't have to decide right now. So I was really upset, like crying and like real emotional. And then my nurse, I ended up with this really good nurse. I was praying a lot, so I feel like God answered the prayers with this nurse. So she knew some different positions for me to be in with the peanut ball, and which was my second time trying that. And then another position where they kind of angled the bed where I was almost like squatting, but I was sitting. And I stayed in that for like 30 minutes. And then back on my side with the peanut ball again. And I was trying to rest, but I was hurting. Like my epidural, I felt like the second time it never got perfect. So I was still starting to feel contractions and pressure. And so I told her that. And so she was like, oh, maybe you might be at 10. And I was like, don't get optimistic. But it turned out she was right. I was at 9. So I went from 5 centimeters to 9 centimeters in about 3 hours. And then they were like, okay, you got to wait till 10. But it was hurting. Like those contractions, I could feel them. I mean, I couldn't feel them everywhere. Like I couldn't feel the cramping part, but I could feel them, like the pressure in my vagina and in my rectum, and it was intense. So they were like, well, when you get to the point where you're feeling the pressure during your contraction, but also in between, let us know. So I let her know, and I wasn't sure if it was real or in my mind, but I let her know, and then she came in, and then I also felt like I was going to vomit. And she's like, oh, that's a good sign. She said, you're probably at 10. So the doctor came back and said I was at 10. And so they said I could, but the baby was still really high up. And they were talking about laboring down, which I guess you like breathe through the contractions. But they were like, well, you could try pushing. So I felt like the urge to push. So ended up pushing for about 30 minutes. And she came out, did not get stuck, thank God. But it hurt. It was painful. No, I can't imagine how much more painful it would have been without any epidural at all. But it was not pleasant. But she's here, and she's perfect. I did hemorrhage quite a bit, so they gave me medicine for that. So I've been having some wonderful diarrhea since then, and that's pretty much all she wrote. So I'll show you her. We're calling her little sister Joy Chaser. She looks a lot like him. At first I didn't think so, but then we looked at pictures when he was born and she does. Nursing, I think 3 times she's nursed. So I'm hopeful that will go well this time. And that's it for now. Give you guys another update as we make it through the postpartum stay. All right, thanks for watching.
They took your footprints. Yes, they did. Oh, you're okay. Your bodies are so little, it's not doesn't take long. No, it doesn't. Okay, I know.
Hey guys, so it is Monday. It is about 7:25, almost 7:30 at night, and we are past the 24-hour mark. I'm feeling pretty good. People have been asking me how am I feeling, and one of my friends just asked me was I uncomfortable, and I said, oops, I turned the video off. So my friend was asking was I uncomfortable, and I was saying no. And my niece had asked me how was I feeling, And I was saying recovery from a vaginal delivery is pretty miraculous. So trying to do some breastfeeding. It's already a little challenging, but we hanging in there. She's falling asleep on me. Hold on, guys. I had an app that I was using that I needed to hit finish. I was tracking how long the nurse know which side, and I have to like write it on this paper for the doctor, along with like wet diapers and dirty diapers. So let's see. Last night after the delivery, and getting all my bleeding stopped, it was pretty uneventful. We got to this room, the postpartum room. I had diarrhea several times. I know too much information, but it's relevant because it was caused by the medication they give when you're hemorrhaging. So I experienced that before with baby joy chaser. The positive side, if there is a positive side ever to diarrhea, is that after you have a baby, I did have a 2-degree tear, they said, so I got some stitches that I actually felt getting. Not completely, but like I said, my epidural wasn't 100%. Can you guys hear her making her little baby noises, her little sleep noises? She's down here. There she is. Let's see if I can get a better angle. There she is. Oh. Whenever I look at her straight on, I don't think she looks like anybody. But when I look at her through the camera, I think she looks like her brother. So other than the diarrhea, it's pretty uneventful. My cousin stayed overnight, which was good. I got a shower this morning and put on my own nightgown, my robe, and I put her in the swaddle with the headband that I showed you guys when I was showing what was in my when I did my last vlog. It wasn't really a vlog. It was a live before heading to the hospital, and I was showing what was in my bag. You gonna open your eyes? You hear me talking? She closed them tight. So we could do a nice photo to send to my coworkers where I look half decent. And she, of course, looked beautiful. You were smiling. But yeah, other than getting a shower, which was nice. Everything's been pretty uneventful. My cousin was here overnight. Like I said, she was here while I took a shower, which was good because I didn't feel like rushed. And yeah, so other things that happened that were a little bit stressful, but not too bad. So she's been a spit-uppy baby, which is apparently because pushing for 30 minutes is not long, which I don't have any real frame of reference. They said, oh, that's pretty quick. So, baby joy chaser was 4 hours. For her, 30 minutes was good. But the downside is she didn't get all of her amniotic fluid squeezed out of her. So she's been spitting up. She's been spitting up and having hiccups. And one of her spit ups had a little greenish tint, which it shouldn't. So they wanted to get her checked out. So she had to go have a special test done to make sure everything was looking good with her digestive tract, and it was. You're acting like you want to eat again. So after that test, she'd been really sleepy all afternoon. Oh, I think she wants to eat. She'd been sleepy all afternoon and not like wanting to get on her breast, but then falling asleep like after 2 sucks. So finally, a little while ago, she got on and really was nursing for a while. I think I'm going to try to stick her back on. Try to not expose myself here, guys. Okay, hang on. Let's see. You right? Oh, yeah, she's back to drinking. So, hold on. I'll be right back. I got to set the app. Okay, yeah, so she's latched back on. So, hopefully there's some milk coming out. I did use my breast pump a little while ago because she hadn't really been on all afternoon, so but nothing came out. But her suck is much more intense than the breast pump. Though she's a good latch, it doesn't hurt, you know. But I can just tell the sucking is much more than what the breast pump can do. So hopefully she's getting something. I'm trying to, yeah, I hear some swallows here or there. Did you guys hear that? Some smacking and then a swallow. So when the shift change should be happening soon. When the night nurse comes on, I think they're going to weigh her and compare last night. So we'll see. Hopefully she's getting something and not, you know, losing too much weight. But I'm happy she's back on. So she is a little bit sleepy, so I do have to blow in her face or undress her a little bit or rub the side of her cheek to get her to stay focused on drinking. What's the matter? Is not enough coming out? Okay, she's back on. So I'm hoping that I'm not running out. Because that's what happened with baby Joy. He'd get on, suck twice, and scream, but then he wouldn't want to get back on. She's getting back on. But also, I'm wondering if she's maybe pooping. So she said they wanted like at least one dirty diaper and one pee diaper. She's had like 3 poopy diapers and 1 wet one today. So oh yeah, overachiever. Okay, and then she's falling back asleep that quick. So sorry, B. I'm gonna have so many edits for this video. But yeah, so she threw up some green stuff, so they did a test to check her digestive tract and all was well. But she definitely came back sleepy after that. They also tested her hearing, and I think it was her right ear she did not pass. But again, they were like, how long were you pushing? And I said 30 minutes. They said, oh yeah, she probably just still has fluid in there. So I guess there's a benefit to longer pushing, but I wanted that. I wanted her out. After everything that had happened, I wanted her out. So it's just us two tonight. I'm hoping I can get some sleep. Everything's doing well with me. My blood pressures have been for the most part good. One really low one, and then one that was a little on the higher end, but most part good. They left me alone with the blood sugars, which has been amazing. Let me eat regular stuff. But then I think they realized their error. So they were like, okay, we're going to at least do a fasting in the morning. But I don't care about tomorrow because I'm getting out of here. And I will no longer be gestationally diabetic. And I can eat what I want to eat. You know, not that I'm trying to be crazy, but I'm ready to not have every bite of food be worrisome. So, sorry. On that topic, so because I had the gestational diabetes, they had to do blood sugar checks on her every 3 hours for the first 24 hours. They would prick her heel, and she passed every single one. So that made me feel good. That made me feel like I did a pretty good job of controlling it, even though I did end up needing insulin because she has not been impacted. Other than maybe it gave her these really cute cheeks, these really cute chubby cheeks that she has. Yeah, so other than that, just I filled out the paperwork for the birth certificate stuff. I had the lady help me because I got nervous around the section where it talks about the father, because I wanted to make sure I filled it out correctly, and I couldn't remember exactly how I did for baby Joy Chasers, because I think his birth certificate just is blank on that side for paternity, because I didn't want it to be like unknown, because that just sounds like you out here wilding and don't know who your baby daddy is, which is not my story. um, so hopefully we did that right. So I filled out all the paperwork for that and for the Social Security card, so that stuff will come in a couple weeks. And tomorrow, I guess we'll both get final checkups to make sure we're okay to go home. And she will redo the hearing test, which I'm going to pray that she passes. I think she is hearing, because I think, has been startled a couple times when, like, something has dropped on the floor. So we'll see. But she'll redo the hearing test. And then there's another test she has to do for the state. Be back. Sorry, my night nurse came in. But yeah, so she'll redo the hearing test tomorrow. She will do the Pennsylvania assessment, whatever. There's some testing that everybody born, I guess, in the hospital in Pennsylvania has to do. And then, we were waiting for my brother to get here. He's going to come around lunchtime and take us home. And then he's going to get baby Joy Chaser. And when he's done with school, and bring him home. I can't wait to see him. I miss him so much. I've never been away from him this long. We video chatted like multiple times every day. But I can't wait to be home and him be home. I asked, did he want to see the baby? He was like, no. So we'll see, how he reacts and how long it really takes him to warm up to her. But I think he'll be good once he realizes like his whole life isn't, right at this moment, his whole life is like in upheaval. So once things go back to normal, I think he'll be all right. But that's it so far. The nurse, I'll be back. So it is Tuesday, about 9:30. Somebody's hanging out here, kind of under my arm. They were supposed to be nursing, but fell asleep. So we are getting our discharge paperwork done. She is cleared to go. I believe I'm cleared to go. So then we just wait. We got all our instructions. I think they're still going to redo her hearing test. But I think she hears me talking. I'm so glad I'm going home. Last night after I was videoing my son, I felt so sad because I was missing him. I cannot wait to have these two together and under the same roof and have my own bed. I'm so uncomfortable. So even when I was able to sleep, it was very hard and uncomfortable. Somebody was up nursing a lot overnight. I still can't tell if my milk has come in. But we're sticking with the nursing so far. She seems okay. So we'll see what happens. And I have to set up a pediatrician appointment. So that's all for now. I guess the next clip will probably be us exiting the hospital. And then at some point I will do like a recap of everything that happened. Yeah, it's been something. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching. If you watched this far in the video, put a, I don't know, a doctor or a hospital emoji in your comments so that I know you watched just about to the end. Because hopefully the rest of this morning will be pretty uneventful and nothing else to really report. So, alrighty, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye. Forgot to show y'all the sign. So, that sign said no lactation. And that was one way that I was proactive in taking care of myself, of my mental health. This time, when I had baby Joy Chaser, the breastfeeding was a struggle. It's a little bit better this time, but it's still not, I wouldn't say going great. But on day 2 with him, he stopped nursing from my breast. He would latch on, suck twice, and scream. Latch on, suck twice, and scream. And that went on all day. And he had not had any wet diapers. So I started feeling panicky by the end of that day, and I asked for formula to supplement. And the nurse was really good and got it for me. The nurses were great. The lactation consultant, when she came on duty the next day, actually said to me, "Oh, I see you gave up." And I felt so, I was already feeling bad. Because who, if your plan is to breastfeed, who wants to feel like your baby is rejecting your nipple, number one. You're already feeling bad about it, then you're feeling worried about your kid actually eating enough. So you change your plan. Another thing that makes you feel a little bad. But then to get judged. So, did not like that. Plus, despite the lactation consultant saying, "Oh, whenever you need me, call. There's always someone on duty." When I called, no one was on duty. They were all in a meeting. And I was like, this is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. So I did not like the experience with them, and I still don't feel like I 100% know what I'm doing in terms of nursing, but I know more than I knew in 2018, that's for sure. So I opted out from the point of being checked in labor and delivery. I told them I did not want to see the lactation consultants. And they were like, "Okay, well, are you sure? Or do you remember who it was?" And I'm like, "No, because it's 2018. I don't remember who it was." They said there was one lady who had a reputation of being rude and she was let go. I'm hoping that was the lady, just so that no one else would have that experience. But I was just like, yeah, I don't want to be worried about if it's the same person. So I'd rather just not. And they respected that. And then I mentioned it when I got in the postpartum room. I mentioned it at nurse shift changes, so they put the sign on the door, which I really appreciate. So, I'm not always the best at advocating for myself, but I am getting better, and I'm glad I said something. So, but anyway, I'm sort of dressed, so I'm wearing home. She's not dressed yet, so we're just waiting to hear from my brother of when he'll be on the way, and then I will get her dressed. They said they have discharge paperwork already for me. If lunch comes before then, I'll eat some lunch. If not, then I get to eat at home. I'm really ready to be home in my own space. I already ordered a Target delivery to meet me home because I wanted like the lactation cookies because I don't really feel that milk has come in. But she's doing okay. So I'm hoping that she's getting something. You know, I had been pumping at home, so I know there was something in there. I don't know how much. But luckily they said her stomach's only like this big. So I'm hoping she's getting something. She nursed a lot overnight, so she's getting fussy. So I'm going to try and nurse quite a bit more before my brother comes if she's up for it. She's a little bit of a sleepy baby. So that hopefully our car ride home will not have crying. So about to blow this joint. Yes. Look. Here. You see?
They drive down to San Diego and he starts at different places. First he says, here's the body. They search for hours, they can't find anything. Then later he says, no, she's still alive. Then later he says, no, it's at a different location.
The loud and crazy want to be back in a minute.
Yeah. Comes up with a different story. This was all just the first time.
Well, besides making
Does
several
Sheree
phone
still,
calls to
does
co-workers,
she still have two cats?
She said
What
it's
are their
a
names?
Prince and Felix.
They're big.
They're bigger than her. Because she was smaller than Peanut that I had to put down. Last year he got sick real fast. He got sick and pancreatitis or something. They treated that, but then he had heart failure. It was same like people, too much fluid and all that. So I ended up having to put him down. Because they were like, there was so fast. What do you think?
The baby is nice.
The baby is nice. Yeah.
Go look at the balloons.
I know. Yes, I told you there would probably be some balloons. And you can play with
And the
those.
baby
Yeah, the baby is not in my tummy anymore. You can touch her. You can wash your hands real quick. Go wash your hands so you can touch her.
I like my baby.
I guess not.
You got taller since I saw you. How did you get bigger? How did you get bigger? Yeah. Go wash your hands real fast so you can go say hi to her. Good. Go. She looks like how you looked when you were little.
We looked at the baby pictures and sure enough,
I missed you a lot. What do you think? She loud?
Yeah.
Eat something.
well, I need a picture of a big brother with little sister. Can you get in the picture and be big brother with the little sister?
You're not good, Bob? Okay, you don't have to.
What do you think?
Okay.
Are you happy? You're not sure yet? You're not sure? You're not
She won't
sure.
always be loud.
Uh-oh. That was not a good picture.
Huh?
She already trying to hold her head up.
Nice touch. Very nice. You like her cheeks? Yeah, they big. It's soft.
Look at this. It looks like a letter C pillow.
It is a letter C pillow.
But I can't see you behind that. Oh, every time I think I got him, he turns.
Oh, you trying to hold
Sometimes you can do video and then you get the screenshots from the video.
Yeah.
I could never get video.
There she is. Look at her. She got her little frilly bell bottoms. Oh, my favorite color. And
You see her name?
Have a look around the store. Great to meet you, Sherry.
You done?
I took like a million pictures.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, your guitar.
You gonna play guitar for her?
now we got about 90.